Yeah, 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 yeah. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna drain my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on grind like every day, 'cause I want everything. I can do anything. Check my resume. It's people against you. They see what you've been through. But look in the mirror, tap into your spirit. There's power within you. Like LinkedIn, I'm locked in, get the job done when I clock in. I weighed out my options, put the work in, that's action, no lacking, just stacking. Big dreams I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead, I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head, I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind, yeah. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, donuts, go nuts, donuts, 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 go nuts, donuts, 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 donuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you a job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus! It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Who you know can make all the difference in your job search.
It definitely can.
Welcome to the show.
Who do we know today? Let's see who we know. We got Jason Hopper, Michaela Price, good to see you, Lane Peeler, Anna Andrich, Patty Dunn, good to see you. Pauline Garrett, hey!
We got Casey G, David Hanwecker. We got Jim Ballard, Chip Likas.
Mitch
we got Mitch
Jacobs.
Jacobs and Jason Hopper up
I know.
in here.
JFS representing in the house today.
Hey, JFS.
Neil Anson. Oh, my goodness. Casey Gee. Here's what I want y'all to do. I see all of you, and I appreciate you for joining in on this show. But I also want to know, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I want you to tell me in the chat down below, if you're searching for a position, I want to know what that position is. So if you're in HR, put hashtag HR. If you're in accounting, put hashtag accounting, project management, whatever it is that you do, tell me in the chat. And then if you're hiring right now, recruiting, maybe you're a coach, something like that, I want to know. I want you to sound off in the chat and tell us hashtag now hiring. That way our job seeker audience and our support can connect. You guys can network, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, that's right. You guys got to connect with each other. Even if you're job seekers, connect.
Yeah.
You can help each other out. And I just saw a comment in here. I want to speak to that. Michaela had typed about how she was down. She's just been getting kind of dragged down into, the funk. And so, funk. Michaela, I saw that comment. We are here to lift you up. All of you, our viewers, we want to lift you up, and that's what we're here for. So let us encourage you today. And hopefully you walk out of here at 10.
Hey, Michaela, you're going to like this. Get the funk out of my face. Get the funk out of my face. No funk today, okay? Get the funk out of my face.
That's right.
All right, let's see who we got here. Melissa is hashtag now hiring. I appreciate you being here, Melissa. Tell us, what are you hiring for?
Yes.
Would love to see that. We got William McCoffin. He's data analyst, entry level. We got Tom, hashtag gas marketing. What else do we got? Lane is hashtag business development. We appreciate you. Sharon Luckage, hashtag recruiter in the house. Say hello.
Hey, Sharon. Great to see you.
That is what I'm talking about. So, guys, network. Literally, if you are seeing this page right now, LinkedIn has changed their live event pages. Okay, they've changed it. You see that little tab that says networking on it? Hello. This is the Job Networking Show. Go connect with those other recruiters and those hiring managers. Say hello. Welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can message them directly right here. So that's the beautiful thing about these new events format in LinkedIn Live.
Isn't that cool? So super excited about that. All right. Why don't we do this?
Kick it off right?
Yep, let's do it. Let's go to the one that made us.
All right, guys. As always, we like to start with a word of prayer. So please bow with me and join me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the day and the blessings of the day. Thank you, first and foremost, for being with Foster.
Amen.
Thank you for just covering his body with your love, just making sure that he is able to make it and recover, that he's under great medical supervision, and just the love and outpouring and support from this network has just been mind-blowing. And we know that's attributed to your work through him. I just pray that you would be the job seekers with the audience, the viewer audience, and those that are hurting. I pray that you would help encourage them, help us to be an encouragement and speak through us to encourage them.
Yes.
Lord, you're the creator. You know exactly what each and every one of us needs. And I just pray that you would provide and that you would help the people that are out there that are hurting recognize you and see you in all of this. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And hey, listen, I know we got a lot of prayer warriors out there, a lot of prayer warriors. Okay, we saw that with Foster in the hospital.
Oh, man.
We saw the prayer warriors, right? The prayer chains and all that.
Beautiful.
I got another ask, okay? I got another ask. And this may be for somebody you don't even know, but my head pastor at Covenant Church, Pastor Ricky Tejada, he is also going through the exact same thing that Foster went through with COVID. His lungs, I mean, he is in the ICU. Like, it is not looking very good. And we need your prayers for him. So I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. If you'll bow again with me real fast. Dear Lord, I pray that you breathe your breath, the breath of life, into Pastor Ricky Tejada. You know, he is a child of God, and we need him on that stage. We need him every single Sunday. I want to see him again. So, dear Lord, I pray that you be with him in that hospital, and you breathe the breath of life into his lungs and bring him back home to us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Quick update on Foster, by the way. I did talk with him on my way down here. He's feeling much better. He said he's recovering actually more quickly than he anticipated. He's still dealing with, still on oxygen, still dealing with the recovery, but is feeling much better. So thank you all for, all of your support, prayers, financially, whatever everybody has done for him. It's just been
thank
great.
you to the community. We appreciate y'all so much. You have no idea. The community that surrounded around Foster was just amazing. Speaking of community, we've got a lot of landings. We got a lot of what we call alumni who are now back to their what? Cash
Get
flow.
your cash flow ready. All right, everybody get your money guns out.
All right.
We have landings. Who we got landed?
We got Leslie Garner. Woo-hoo. Congrats. We got Stan Shinsato. We got Roshonda Gibson. We got Dion Myers. Congratulations, Frank Lott.
Frank Lott. Awesome, Frank.
Daniel Went.
All right, Daniel.
You got some more? What do you got?
Yeah, we got Robert Barnes,
Woo-hoo!
Jakar Jones,
Woo-hoo!
John Hardigan, Theodore Gwynn,
yes,
Charlene Boswell, Yash Dedia, Karen Hall. I ran out. Veronica Ataka and Joe Guertin, and last but not least, Alex Chernovsky. Congratulations.
Woo! Hey, here we go. This is for you. You're back to your cash flow. Oh.
I'm out. Got to reload.
That's a lot of
Congratulations, guys. Hey, you know what is so beautiful about this is that they landed. There is hope. Let it be an encouragement, like I always say to you guys. But also, here's the thing. Connect with them. All right? Connect with these folks that just landed. Make sure that you're connected with them at LinkedIn. Ask them how they did it.
Yeah.
Right? And also ask them if that company's still hiring.
Yeah, is that company still hiring?
Are there more opportunities there?
Who do you know? That kind of whole thing.
Yep,
so I love that. All right, so I got the tip of the week today, and this actually came to me as I was driving here to the studio because of a situation that happened today in our summit. Okay, so how many of you have been to our summit? Let me know down in the chat. Put #summit, okay? But we had a situation in our summit today where, look, I'm presenting, okay? I'm in presentation mode, and I'm just go, right? And I got a destination. It's like I got a school bus, full of kids. I'm trying to take you somewhere, okay? I'm trying to take you to the destination. And my tip of the week today is about mic etiquette. Mic etiquette. You ever had somebody like all of a sudden they unmute and they just come in hot with a question? Guys, you got to know when the time and place is for that question. And listen, I want to allow space for that, and we do. We allow space for that. We actually build in the design into our summit spaces for you to be able to ask questions, to get back in support, to make sure you get those questions answered. But mic etiquette. And the only reason I'm saying this, guys, is because it may feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't even know. The guy that I'm talking about may be in the chat right now listening to this. But what I got to say is sometimes, listen, the truth hurts. Right? Sometimes the truth hurts, and iron sharpens iron. And so I just got to call it out when I see it. Okay? I have to call things out when I see it so that you can get better, right? Improved. Because listen, if they're doing it to us, they're also doing it in other spaces. Okay? So mic etiquette. Know when the time and place is, because typically the presenter will tell you. They'll tell you exactly when it is. They'll say, hey, do you have any questions? Hey, unmute your mic, that kind of a thing, and give you that space to, ask your questions. So, mic etiquette, that is my tip of the week. Guys, we got to go to a real quick break, but don't go anywhere, okay? Because when we come back, we got Stephanie Saunders in the house. We'll be right back.
If anyone is out there and you're a realtor or you are looking to get your real estate license, it's a very low-cost entry, $300 to take your real estate course online. Inexpensive compared to like a college. EXP is $150 to join, and it's like $84 a month. So relatively speaking, these are very inexpensive costs. If you are interested in that and you want to work with me as a realtor, I'd love to have you join my team, and you want to hear about the model, then go to join10xempire.com, and I do this opportunity call every Tuesday. Would love to answer your questions and tell you more about what I'm doing. If anyone out there is interested in working with me.
Imagine coming together in a room with hundreds or 1,000 people who are all either seeking a relationship with Jesus Christ or living out their faith or wanting to live it out more boldly at work. And we all come together and we encourage one another to be real. Every year we bring all these leaders together from the DFW technology community, and we allow a place where it's safe to talk about your faith in Christ. What we want you to do is we want you to get inspired to go back and live it out at work boldly. And we also want to provide a safe place for those who don't know Jesus to understand more about him and to start them to seek a faith with Christ on their own.
Many of you are, in transition and looking for your next opportunity, and so we believe that having faith is a big part of that, and it's, something that helps keep us going and drives us to perform and do better.
This is my first LinkedIn video. Hi, my name is Paul Haggerty. I would like to join an organization that values a strong, healthy human resources department. I'm fortunate enough to have worked in HR for companies large and small, established and startup. Put my skills to work for you, or let's connect and see how we can help each other. Whatever we do, I appreciate you, and thanks in advance for your help. Have a great day.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who you know can make all the difference in your job search.
Who you know. All right, guys, I'm super excited about our next
know?
guest. Let me tell you who I know, okay? So I know Stephanie Saunders. Now, Stephanie's career path hasn't always been a laser straight line to success. But however, there have been a couple reliable constants: real estate and a thriving against any on all odds with the ability to market herself. She's a corporate executive turned founder, real estate investor, keynote speaker, podcast host, angel investor, nonprofit founder, and Forbes top social media influencer 2020. Everybody welcome Stephanie Saunders.
All right, Stephanie, give me a little cash flow.
Stephanie, what's
Hi.
up? How you
Welcome,
doing?
welcome.
Man, we're so excited you're here. I appreciate you coming, and you're just out there. I see all your social media and stuff like that, and you're just crushing it. So I gotta ask you though. I always like to figure out, you're what I call a world changer. Okay, you're out there making moves and making waves. So I gotta know what it was like for young Stephanie Saunders. Like, what was it like for you growing up? Has it all been sunshine and rainbows? Have there been any hardships, anything like that? Tell me about it. What was it like growing up for you?
Definitely not all butterflies and rainbows. But I don't know that anybody that's successful has ever come from a place of butterflies and rainbows, have they?
No, probably not. No, I always like to get the grit. I like to find out where's the grit, because that's where all the that's where all the lessons are.
Mm-hmm, that's where growth happens.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I started my career during one of the most difficult times, that similar to the one we're in now, back during the last recession. And I think that was a really crushing time because my dreams were basically put on hold and I had to change my entire career. That really made who I am today because I had to push through something I never would have known how to deal with. Wow. So that was tough.
So what were you doing? And then okay, so the market crash in 08, 09, that whole thing kind of forced you to make some major moves. So what were you doing? And then what did you pivot into?
So originally I was going to go to law school.
Oh.
And unfortunately, most people that were graduating law school at the time were making like $50,000 a year as their cap. And I had a large amount of debt I was looking to get into to go to school. So it wasn't a reward really, right? The risk was not worth the reward. So I put that on hold and I got into the distressed real estate market, which I never in a million years would have imagined doing, but it was booming at the time. So I guess we're in a similar space now. What industries are booming now that people lost their job in hospitality or whatever it was? Where can they go? So I really relate to kind of where we're at the moment.
Wow. Okay. So I want to, there's something you said, distressed real estate market.
Yep.
Okay. So talk to me about that real quick. What's the distressed real estate market?
So you know how so many people went through foreclosures back in 08? Really started in 2005. So when you're in foreclosure, you have an option to work something out with the bank, or as an investor, you can purchase the property directly from the owner so they don't go through foreclosure. So I started buying property like that.
Wow.
But during that time, I had no idea what it was. And I represented the banks, helping them take people's homes back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I turned into the bad guy.
Yeah. So Stephanie, my grandparents lost their home in 08, 09. It was not.
But you know what? So many people did. Like friends, family, right? Like now I do something that is completely different, like helping property owners because I want to make up for that time in my life, right? But it was a career move.
Yeah.
It was what was booming.
It's business, right? It's business. And, you know, anytime there's a down market, you know, people capitalize on that down market. And so are you in a position to capitalize on a down market? You know, that's something to think about.
Well, and here's the thing. So first, we're at the precipice, right? I mean, we've had tons of stimulus money out and people that still are not able to make the mortgage payments, and landlords who aren't getting rent paid, and so they're at risk of losing their properties potentially in the next coming years. So, but that's not the point. The question that I had for you is, so you're in this other career field, right? Total kind of, I don't know about 180, but it's a totally different environment. Like, how did you I guess adapt into that? How did that go, that transition to a new career field?
Well, so I want to go back to where we're at now, where you're saying basically that it's possible we're here again. Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll ever be there again. I don't think that investors or landlords or banks really want to see what happened before happen again, because we've been through too much, right? Mm-hmm. That's my personal opinion. But as far as what I do now, I really got into transitioning again into something though that made me feel better. Right. I wanted to do something that really resonated with me, but I also wanted to make money. So I took my prior experiences and I navigated to finding something that resonated with me and my bank account.
Yeah, well, that totally makes sense.
Well, and that's a huge message to our audience too, because our audience is primarily job seekers. And if you think about it, a lot of people, we talk about this all the time, where people are coming from jobs that they didn't like doing. They don't want to go back to necessarily, but that's all they know. And so a lot of people come to us and they're like, how do I transition? How do I change careers? It's a scary proposition.
Well, you got to be open is one of the first things I would say, is because I see a lot of job seekers. They're like, yeah, I want to look at this or that, but they're just not open to other opportunities. So was there a part of you that, like, why real estate? Like, that's what I want to know. Where did that come from? Because did somebody approach you? Was it like, were you just open and you were kind of exploring and looking? Had you always kind of had that seed planted? Where did that come from?
Well, what's interesting is, so we go back to the background. My parents were both in real estate, and it was the last thing in the world that I ever wanted to do. I wanted to do something that was nothing like what they did, right? Which is why I was going the law school direction. I wanted to be like a child advocate attorney, but I also wanted to be rich. So no, I think, you know what the truth is that I just studied the market, right? I was young, but I knew that I was watching my friends get jobs and they were making more in this particular field. So like, I know right now, a lot of people, I happen to live in Miami, and we have a very, very hospitality driven industry. So most of the people that I know are in trouble now. So they've either started their own small businesses and they're struggling because there's still not really a demand yet for these big in-person events for hospitality stuff, but they're all now kind of looking towards what's big. So there's technology jobs that are booming and they're paying really well, and these people have never considered. And so now I think it's really just watching where is the money and can you resonate with it?
That's so smart. Where's the money? Follow the money. Where's the cash flow, y'all? You need to go where the cash flow is. And you're absolutely right. There are certain industries right now that are booming, tech being one of them. You actually have a foundation offering grants for tech careers. You want to talk to us about that?
Yes, Trevor. And you and I have talked about this a little bit before, and connected me with one of your friends, C-Rock.
Yeah.
So they're doing some big things, I think, with Uncle G, and they're going to be starting like the Blueprint division of
10X,
their tech world.
Yeah, 10X
so
Incubator.
It's really what?
10X Incubator, yeah.
Yes, right. So, I mean, the concept there is people who have ideas, right? And they've already kind of started and they're looking for that launch pad. So what we're trying to offer is really scholarships, grants for people who are saying, hey, I have no education in tech. I know this is where the future is going to be. I want to get a career here. We'll provide that, match for them with the courses we're approved in, and they can get a year's education in a tech course.
Dang! So she's literally got grants, giving out a little cash flow, y'all.
Little extra,
little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay, so I love that. How can they connect to that?
Find me on LinkedIn, go on the website. It's the suskindfoundation.org.
Okay.
Or you can just send me an email, but LinkedIn is where I am all the time.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Now, what about, I got some other questions more in line about how to get these job seekers back to their cash flow, how to get them back to work. Number one, what would you do, or what would your advice be to a job seeker who just feels like they're getting kicked in the teeth? Right? Like they're just getting it's just bad, right?
They're lost.
They're lost. What would you do?
So I would say look at yourself, but really look at yourself. Right? I mean, when we were interviewing, we were seeing people have zero presence online, right? No real desire to make that make that adjustment to like being visible, right? Because we all want to know, can you talk on a Zoom meeting? We want to be able to see your recorded video. I think you have to figure out what you're not doing, and it could likely be your presence online.
I'm gonna give you a mic drop.
Yeah, that's a mic drop right there.
Wow. Okay, so it's not necessarily about what to do; it's what are you not doing,
right?
That is holding you
back.
What's holding you back? Like, and I'll give you a perfect example. So again, if you've been through our summit, put #summit down in there in the chat, right? We get people come through our summit. I'm going to teach you some really cool stuff in there. I'm going to show you how to become visible and to get attention and to get the attention of decision makers and all that fun stuff like Stephanie's talking about. But there is a big percentage of people that just don't take action. They're not applying the concepts and the strategies that we're teaching them. The ones that do apply get results. So just saying, throwing that out there.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. So you've got great words, right, for job seekers. I think you've got great experience because not only were you helping people in your career, right, with the mortgage side and people that were losing their homes, but the transition that you went through as well. As far as people helping you, right? And success leaves clues. That's a big thing that Trevor talks about. What or who would you need to take your business to the next level? Like if you had a name or a person in mind, who would that be? What would that be?
Well, a name or a person, I'm not sure, but I always look to help property owners. So we help property owners on many levels when it comes to like protecting assets and like property damage. So anyone who's in like that real estate world connecting to would be wonderful for me. I'm always looking to do that, right? New ideas, new concepts, new partnerships, right? You might want to syndicate together, but that, and anyone who wants to get more involved with giving back through the foundation that we're doing or we're running.
Love that. Well, guys, you just heard what she needs. If you have any connections to that, reach out to her in a DM, blow her up, just say, hey, I can hook it up. I got the hookup, right? I got the hookup. That was an old Master P song back in the day. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. Y'all didn't think I knew that, did you? All right, so reach out to Stephanie if you've got the hookup, right? This is all about networking. And you know what networking is, guys? Networking is figuring out how to add value in others. It's how can you give to them. It's not about you. It's about other people. And the more you help people get what they want, the more they will help you get what you want, okay? So that's what networking is. So if I can help Stephanie in any way, that's what we're going to do, right? That's what we're going to do. So I love that. Let me see here. Okay, so I also see you landed a national sales executive role. Tell me about that story. Where did that come from?
That was the career pivot when I had first. Okay. I mean, listen, it took me a little while to get there. At the time, once I finally made the transition and I started working in corporate, it was no more law school. You know, the economy tanked. I had to make a new path for myself. It took me about 5 years, and I landed a national sales rep role, and I reached my top. It happened pretty quickly. I stayed there for another 5, so 10 years in corporate. But yeah, that was a big moment for me, you know, having changed directions completely, and then 5 years of work and kind of getting to the top of where I was going to be.
Well, and that's another thing I think that's important is that transition. A lot of times, so you were uncomfortable in the position you were in originally. It got uncomfortable. A lot of times I feel like God likes to stir things up, likes to make you uncomfortable, maybe removes you from certain things in your life, like with the whole furloughs, people getting furloughed, fired, and let go.
Gets you out of your comfort zone.
Like you were forced to, right? A lot of times that happens too. So for those job seekers listening, that could be a blessing in disguise, right? So that could be a blessing in disguise. Let me ask you this. In your success, because you've done a lot of things, I see Forbes top social media influencer 2020, and just you're doing all these awesome things. What do you feel like has led to the more of your success? What you know, like your skill set, the knowledge, like you even said your parents' knowledge in real estate, right? Like came from there. Like, is it what's up here? Is it what you know, or is it who you know? Is it the network, the people? What do you think's more?
I definitely think it's who you know. And I say that that's based on my attempt to, my first failure, right? That I was able to adapt during the first failure, change my career path. And then from there, it was all about who I met for the next decade.
There you go. Y'all heard it. It's all about who you know. That's what's up. You know, because look, guys, who you know can help you, because if you can find a way to get to people, and then they give you the knowledge and the skill set, right? You don't have to always have all the knowledge and the skill set. Like that's why me and Mark, we pair up really well together. It's like yin and yang, right? He's got
good with names.
He's good with names. I'm awful with names.
Name pronunciation.
Name pronunciation. Like, anyway, he's got some things that, you know, like, and we just complement each other, right? And so that's the whole who you know stuff. You can find people who have exactly what you need. And if you can add value and network with them, then,
if it's who you know, who's been the most inspirational to you? Who's had the most impact in your life and your success?
Gosh, that's such a tough one. There's been so many people, right? It takes a village. I would say I'll call out one of my first bosses, Mike Rossaler and Richard Popkin, who they believed in me, right?
Yes.
So from there, though, listen, there are hundreds of people that I would say have contributed to my success over the years.
Yeah, hundreds, if not thousands, probably. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not just one person. There's no way.
So those two people, though, right? They came
Yeah.
to your mind for a reason, right? And you said it was because they believed in you.
They
right?
believed in me. They were my first two bosses that really like were, hey, just get on the road, like start traveling every week. And they gave me this whole new perspective on a career possibility for myself. So yeah, sometimes it can just take one person in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
Oh, 100%.
Just give you that little prod, that little push, that
Right.
Well, we did an interview with Emmitt Smith. Do you remember that? We were at the Cowboys Club, and he was talking about how the coach, that was exactly the same thing. He said the coach believed in him and said, you're going to have to carry this team. We're going to put this team on your shoulders, and you're literally going to have to drag it across. I'm putting it all on you. Like he told Emmitt, and Emmitt's like, oh my gosh. But he said that's what he needed to hear. The coach believed in him to say, you are going to have to carry this team, literally carry it. And he carried it
up and
to a few Super Bowls, just saying, go Cowboys. But anyways, I think that's pretty important. So guys, think about who's in your life that believes in you. Who has been in your corner? Who is that person that has spoke life into you? And maybe you need to reconnect with that person. Just go have coffee with that person. Literally, I text my old sales director at one of the car dealerships today. I text him today because it's been coming up over and over and over for me. And I'm like, that guy, he sharpened, molded. Like, I'm going to go reconnect with him. It's been a while.
That's so funny. I just earlier this week reached out to a senior master sergeant in the Air Force that I was under that really like made an impact on me. That's so crazy.
Stephanie,
That's crazy.
I want you to reach out to those two people that you said.
All right, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Has it been a while?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Reach out to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, think about that for a second. The people that make the most impact in your life, reach out to them.
They might not even know. They probably didn't even realize, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's true.
Yep.
They may not even realize. Yep.
Well, he was shocked when I texted him today. He was like, "Oh, how you doing?" You know, like, "Oh, yeah," you know. And we butted heads too. Hey, let me ask you that: did you butt heads with those people?
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
For sure.
Did you?
Yeah,
For
a little
sure.
bit, little bit.
So, guys, think about that. A good coach. Look, iron sharpens iron. There's going to be sparks. It's not going to be pleasant. It's probably going to be uncomfortable. But they're the ones
That's
that
where growth
push.
happens.
Yeah, they push you the most, and they help you to get the results. Right? That's why I said that earlier in the episode. I'm like, I'm not going to be shy about it because I got to help these job seekers get results, period. Whether they like me or don't like me. It's not about being liked. If I make an impact, guess what? They'll like me. If I make an impact in their life, they will like me. Right? So anyway, I love that. This is great. This has been phenomenal.
So Stephanie, thanks for connecting, by the way. And I was able to look, and so it seems like have you been in Miami your whole life? Okay.
I have, yeah.
All right. So Trevor
Born
mentioned
and
the
raised.
Cowboys. You're probably a Dolphins fan then.
You know, surprisingly, I really enjoy the Cowboys Stadium. You guys have like one of the best stadiums there
mic
is.
drop.
Right.
Yes.
And the Dolphins aren't a lot to be proud of these days, or haven't been for my entire life.
You're
So,
Well, you did just have Tampa Bay, though.
Well, yeah, they got Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
That's the West
Yeah.
Side.
Yeah, but it's still Florida. I mean, you know, it's still a team there. But anyways, okay. Hey, we've had a lot of mic drop moments, and you've been bringing the heat, so I appreciate that. And we got some giveaways for the audience. So, Mark, can you think of a question that you want to ask the audience? And this way, we can give away a LinkedIn banner. You're actually going to get a custom LinkedIn banner just for you in your job search and your branding that's going to really seal the deal. It's going to help have a call to action to bring people in, to get conversations started. Trust me, you're going to want one of these if you don't have one already. So, what's a good question?
What was she going to school for,
Ooh.
but did not go into that career field?
Yes, great question.
What was she going to school for?
Yes,
but
tell
didn't
us in
go
the
into
chat.
that career
Oh, and
field?
I'm going to throw a disclaimer out there, guys. The LinkedIn Live comments, okay, what you see and what we see are not always the same, okay? It's like there's a lag in there, okay? So I want to throw out the disclaimer. We are going to call on what we see first, our first comment that we see, because I have had certain people, they're like, wait,
So people just really want to win.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate that. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to give stuff away and make people happy, not make people mad. Because people are like, wait, I was the winner. I was the winner. I'm like,
Oh, we already got the answers here.
Who do you got? Who do you got? Disclaimer, it's what we see.
Yep, disclaimer, it's what we see. Well, and I know he always wins.
Yeah?
He always wins.
No, we can't.
But we can't give away to him. So, because he's one of our partners.
He's a
our
career
partner.
coach.
Yeah,
He's a career coach. So,
but Jason Hopper, you are just incredible. I can't believe
fast fingers,
how
Jason
fast
Hopper.
you win. But Jim Ballard
Jim
is the next one. Jim Ballard is the
Ballard!
next one. So, congratulations, Jim Ballard.
hey, Jim, or
What did he win?
No, the LinkedIn banner.
The banner. That's
Banner.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, do you want him to just connect with you directly, or what do you want him to do?
Yeah. Reach out to me, Jim Banner. I will get you your banner.
Yes,
Jim Ballard.
Jim Ballard.
Baller.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Baller.
Okay,
No.
Jim Baller. I'm
Jim,
writing that down right
Jim
now.
Baller, you're gonna have a baller banner.
A baller banner.
A baller
right, a
banner
baller
that's going to
banner.
help you get back to your cash flow because that's baller. Okay. All right, guys. Stephanie, thank you so much. This has been
picture
awesome.
time.
Oh, wait.
Picture time.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I almost messed up. Guys, make sure you do me a favor right now. Audience, take a screenshot, okay? I want you to post it all over social media. I want you to take a screenshot of the show right now with Stephanie on it, and I want you to share it all over social media. I want you to tag her, tell her how much you appreciate her joining the Who You Know family, and show some love to Stephanie Saunders. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Stephanie.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we got Roger in the house.
I don't know if we could talk, but great job.
You know you have something unique to offer your next employer, whether it's your experience or your work ethic or your passion or your personality. But how do you stand out from the crowd when you're stuck sending plain text emails that lack personality, lack humanity, and worst of all, look like every other email in the inbox? Job seekers just like you are discovering how easy it is to put their humanity back into their communication and back into their job search with BombBomb Video. Visit bombbomb.com to start a free trial today and rehumanize your job search.
Hey guys, Ken Lehman here. Wanted to share briefly with you my experience in job searching. And it is all about who you know and using video that I believe I landed a position working for Amazon Web Services and heading up part of their AWS technical support team.
I attended the Career Transition Summit and got a few new tips that really helped and energized me. And now I have an offer letter.
And I wanted to share with you my experience with joining the Who You Know show. I was really in a slump looking for my next career. And when I joined the Who You Know show, I found it to be very inspiring, very outgoing, lots of fun, and inspirational.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who you know.
Who you know.
That can make all the difference in your job search.
It definitely can. And let me tell you who I know. We got Roger Brooks in the house, and Roger Brooks is the host of American Real TV. He's a 3-time best-selling author and CEO of the Bestseller Academy, where he helps busy people write, publish, and market their first book. If everybody can welcome Roger Brooks to the house.
All right, Roger, welcome. Hey, weren't you writing a book? Weren't you going to write a book?
Yeah, that's why I got some questions. I got some questions.
We need to talk to Roger.
Yeah. I got questions for Roger. Okay, hey Roger. So you're crushing it, man. Like 3 best selling all time. I can't even talk. You got some. You slanging books, bro. You out there slanging books. I like that. How do you do that, man? Like where does that start? Where did you get started being an author?
I tell you, it was just one of those things that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to become a writer. And actually, what happened was I went to a conference down in Florida one year for one of my favorite authors, Jeffrey Gitomer. He was hosting a sales conference.
Oh, okay.
And in the conference, he said something that really resonated with me. And he said, writing leads to wealth.
Ooh.
And I thought about that, and what he meant, not only financial wealth, but fulfillment.
Ooh.
Because writing's one of those things that if you could get into it, we all have our own things that we are good at, right? So whatever industry we're in, maybe it's a passion, maybe it's a memoir, we have that information inside of our head.
Yep.
So I feel it's our duty to be able to get that out. So
Yes.
Trevor, you have to write your book.
Thank you.
It's our duty to get that out so others can benefit from that information, from that experience, from whatever knowledge that we have. We need to pass that on.
Wow.
And if you think about it, over the ages, look how they passed on, from, the writings that were inside the pyramids. For generations and generations and hundreds and thousands of years, people have been trying to pass on knowledge. So I feel it's our duty to do so.
I love that. I'm gonna give you a mic drop for that.
Yeah.
I'm a big follower of Grant Cardone, and one thing that he says like, success is your obligation, it's your duty, right? And I think where he's going with that is like, it's your duty to get that out. To get, like you said, it's your obligation. If you have something that can help people, something that can make an impact, like just going and doing one-on-one, you're not going to make impact. You're not going to really change the world. But writing a book, creating a course, doing something that you can scale can really make an impact on this world. So I love that.
You also brought up a very key point, which is wealth. Right? The definition of wealth or the concept of wealth. And it's not about money.
It's about impact.
It's not about money, right? And so I think, viewer audience, that's a very, very key point. Speaking of which, not being about money, but you've got this academy, right? Bestseller Academy. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What is it?
So it's really a way to help people like Trevor organize their thoughts in order to put it into a book. So the way I look at writing a book, because I did it myself, I learned the hard way. It was, back before we had all these things that we do today on Google to do a search or YouTube videos. I had to figure it out myself. So in that process and doing it a couple of times, I learned a system. I made up my own system. So what the Academy is I really break down the system of writing a book into a project. So if you look at it over a 3-month period, it's a 12-week program. If you look at this as a project over 3 months, and if you do a little bit every day and instead of trying to write the whole thing in a weekend or over, a year, if you do a little bit every day, then that leads to progression. And the whole idea is to write 1 chapter a week. So I meet with people live on the weekend, and then during the week they're doing their writing, so then they could come prepared the next week to ask the questions or talk about what's upcoming. And I read everything. I read their work so I could give them feedback. I put myself as the reader for them and make sure that that book is in really good shape before it gets to an editor so it could then go to publishing.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So how do you, what do they say? How do you eat an elephant?
Yeah.
1 bite at a time?
Well, it's that concept of, and actually Mike Scoville one of our mentors here, he broke that down, right? A goal, a project, a task, right? And a goal might be this huge thing, and the project even might be this larger than I can handle type concept. But the tasks, if you break it down into tasks, are easy, right? Are relatively easy.
So okay, so you were saying earlier, you were talking about me writing a book. So Success Leaves Clues, I always talk about that. And if I were to write a book, you're saying I should start with the Bestseller Academy. Now, I'm gonna do that. Like I'm gonna come check out your academy, man. That's number one, because I gotta get this from here to here, okay? But I got just some questions on that, because I've been playing around with the idea and stuff like that, and I've heard people talk about transcribing audio.
Yeah.
Okay. Like with technology now, okay, would you recommend that where, let's say I was to do a presentation or a video or something and to start transcribing a bunch of audio into written form text and then start to formulate the ideas and structure around, or does that just get messy?
Well, look, it all depends on the individual. It's not a one size fits all.
Okay.
So I do a discovery call. That's the very first thing that we do. So we have to find the right medium for the individual. If you prefer audio, talking into your phone and then letting it transcribe, and that's your preferred medium, then that's just fine. I worked with someone who doesn't really have a computer. He has a phone. He doesn't like to type. He doesn't like to write. He wrote the entire book through transcription, through talking and texting. So that certainly can be one way. But before you get there, you have to be really organized so that when you go into your actual session, or you have a good idea of all the points that you want to cover as you're talking.
Right. That way it's, like you said, keeps it organized, so it's not just a bunch of thought all over the place.
Just
and
this big jumbled thought.
Yeah.
Some people like to write. I love to write. So what I do is I get up early every morning, and that's my writing time. I like when it's quiet. I like to feel the keyboard. I actually do a lot of handwriting sometimes before it goes on to the keyboard. So it really just depends on what that individual wants to do, and then I conform to their preferred way.
I love that. So everybody's different. You got to do it the way that works the best for you. The reason why I'm asking this question for our job seeker audience, okay? I got a question for you. I had an idea, and this idea was to help job seekers be able to get more informational interviews, okay? And I thought, you know what? If you've got to do interviews and you've got to talk with companies and you got to talk to people that work at those companies, why not be able to feature them, give them something of value? And so my idea was the Job Seeker podcast, right? Where the job seekers would have their own like live stream show like this, be able to interview employees at the companies they want to work for, and then actually transcribe that into a book about their journey. So and then they could take the content, video content, and chop it up for micro content. So anyways, I had this big grand scheme idea to help job seekers to become more visible. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. Look, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with it.
Where'd you think I was going?
I like the idea. It's something unique, right? And it can be done, absolutely. And a lot of people are doing things like this today. So it's very, very possible. It's a great idea. What I would suggest, even, in addition to that, is, and this is the whole thing with Jeffrey Gitomer when I went to his conference, when he was talking about writing leads to wealth, is to write a book. Because when you could write a book and you send that in with your resume, you want to talk about being at the top of the pile for your industry. I know by experience. I know what it did for me in my career. I wrote my first business book in 2010 on customer loyalty. It was called The Power of Loyalty. Entrepreneur Magazine or Entrepreneur Press did publish the book. It changed the game. And that's what Jeffrey Gitomer was talking about, that if you could write, you may want to write for a trade journal or a trade magazine or, online newsletter. When you write, people recognize you. There's a lot of people that write for Forbes. I think Stephanie Saunders, your previous guest, was honored by Forbes.
Correct.
So there's a lot of ways to get exposed to the people who are hiring. But I could tell you this, if you write a book, it's going to take a little bit more time and effort. It will absolutely help you get to the top of the resume pile.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah, that's a mic drop.
drop.
Now, top of the resume pile, what about top of the network? Like, how has that impacted your ability to network and really get open doors, warm introductions, things like that?
Let's just use real life examples because I think those are the best. When I would attend trade shows and conferences before I wrote a book, I was the person from my company attending and standing at the booth, right? So that happened for many years. After I wrote my first book, the conferences that I used to go to asked me to speak at the conference. They wanted to promote my book at the conference. I was now the author that worked for XYZ company at that same conference, but people looked at me in a different light.
Authority.
It brought additional credibility that I didn't have before I wrote my book. So it's, as I said before, it's a game changer. And the whole idea, especially if you're in sales, with when you talk about networking, is that people will start to call you because you'll be looked upon as an expert in the field. You'll be looked upon as an authority in your field. And it's, again, I try not to overcomplicate things. As a matter of fact, I try to really simplify it. So when you write your first book, no matter what industry you're in, if you could just really dumb it down to the top qualities or the top things that you would want to express in a book, it can get done within a reasonable time. So again, you're not spending 6 months or a year making it happen.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. So I've seen, I mean, obviously you got these giant books and you got novels and you got and then you got like these things that you can digest literally. They're like little, maybe 50 to 100 page, but like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just
like is there
hits.
a sweet spot, or is it more about getting what's out here, getting what's in your head on paper and then being able to produce a result, like being able to actually have them get from A to Z after they're done reading it?
Great question. Look, I'm all about quality. You don't want to just put something out to put it out. It has to be something of value, right? So that's number one. That's at the top of the list. Make sure it's of whatever content, whether it's a post on LinkedIn or you're writing an article or you're writing a book, it should be top quality. That being said, I also think there's a somewhat of a magic number for someone's first book, about 150 pages. Now that could change based on font size, and the type of font you use and how the spacing is and all
Pictures.
that. But it's just to break it down. If you think about 10 chapters, 15 pages a chapter, that's 150 books. So it's not that hard to write 15 pages.
Yeah.
If you write 2 pages a day, which again is not that hard once you get in the rhythm, then every week you could have a chapter. So do you see how the sequence can work? So over a 12-week period, and that's why I come up with 3 months, because you need enough time. You may get it done a little sooner, it may take a little bit longer, but about 3 months, if you work on that project and that becomes your focus for 3 months. So right now we're at the end of August, September, October, November. So before the holidays, if you started September 1st, you could have a book out there.
Wow. And you know what I love about this too? So you're talking about 2 pages a day, right? Is that what you said? 2 pages a day? All right. So I'm also teaching our job seeker audience to post at least 1 piece of content a day, right? You got to get 1 piece. You got to market yourself. You got to advertise yourself, right? So 1 piece of content each day, but you got to have copy for that content, right? It's not just an image. It's not just a video. Like, you've got to have copy to go with it. And so as I think about this, I say, okay, well, if I'm going to do 1 a day, so that's like 1 page a day is what I'm writing in my copy. You could start to formulate that copy, and if you organize it correctly, literally your social media strategy can also become your book, right?
I love that. And look, to your point earlier, if you also in the midst of it conduct some interviews with people,
boom,
you could utilize that content in the book as well. So now there's ways to generate more content quicker in order to get that book out.
Yeah, that's great, because when you're interviewing people, you're featuring them. And so what you want to do, guys, is, all right, I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say I'm an HR professional and I'm in transition. What I need to do is I need to go, and for my target companies, let's say I want to look at Coca-Cola. Well, I want to reach out to other HR professionals at Coca-Cola. And I want to say, hey, I'm writing this book. I see you work at Coca-Cola. I'm really interested in that company as well. I'd love to feature you and highlight your experience and what you've done and what's made you so successful there, and put you in my book. And we'll do a live interview. We'll do an interview if that's okay with you. And I'd love to feature you. Is that, and like, they're going to be excited about that. Like, think about it. The HR person at Coca-Cola has never been featured in anything, right? Like, think about that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Like, they're going to be like, what?
For my loyalty book, I did something similar. I wanted to bring credibility to my first book. So I went out and interviewed people from, the Chase credit card and TGI Fridays and all these loyalty programs that were out there, Starbucks. And I brought that into the book. So it's a very similar concept, but I really like your concept, because now not only do you make a great connection at Coca-Cola with the HR manager, but you're featuring them in a book that they may have never had the opportunity to be part of.
You made a great point earlier, and I want to make sure that the audience picked up on this, because you talked about how the book impacted you with your network and open doors and things like that. And you said, especially if you're in sales. Well, guess what, job seekers?
Yeah.
You are all in sales
right
now. You are all in sales right now. I just wanted to
not just sales, sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing.
Because let me tell you something. Without marketing, there are zero sales. Okay? You can't sell yourself if no one knows you. If no one knows you, then no one flows you. So you have to market too, right? Marketing comes before sales, right? You're never going to get that opportunity to get in that interview and sell yourself if no one knows who you are, and that's the problem. You're in the black hole. You're applying online, and that resume, you can just, what to do with it. It's not going anywhere. So market yourself. Put yourself out there, and a book is a great way to market yourself. It's a phenomenal way to market yourself, and it doesn't have to be this, like, huge novel,
undertaking,
right? So I love that, and I'm gonna write a freaking book, man.
Roger, we asked Stephanie this. Influence. Who has made an impact in your life? Who's helped you get to where you are today?
Yes.
Look, I know this is a faith-based show, which is great. I feel that I've had literally a guardian angel my whole life. So since I was young, I mean, something, whether a spirit, whatever it is, has been looking over me my entire life. I was one of these kids that grew up in a very middle class, even lower middle class area, hardworking parents, hardworking neighborhood, Slovak neighborhood. And there's been so many people, from my little league baseball coach, Fran Heath, who is now gone, to a gentleman, Glenn McGyver, who my father worked with, and he was also my basketball coach. A lot of coaches, because I played sports. Jack Dunn at Portland State University, who was my baseball coach there. And then when I got into the business world, I actually had the opportunity to work for Clyde Drexler when I was 20 years old. And his agent, Jim Sapp, out in Portland, Oregon, and another guy, Jim Flad, in Portland, Oregon. And then I connected with my old high school principal, Ray Stanton, and him and his son had this business that they were bringing across America that was very similar to the entertainment book, a coupon book that was sold as a fundraiser. And then I ended up working for them for 20 years.
Wow.
Ray Jr. became my brother-in-law. So we're brother-in-laws, our wives are sisters.
Wow.
So there's been so many people, but I've had this guardian angel
that's
the entire time until today. I mean, I kid you not.
I love that you know that journey. That you've connected those dots. Now, let me ask you a question. Those people that you just mentioned, like, describe them. Is it kind of like we were talking about earlier with Stephanie? Have they been hard on you? Were they encouraging? Like, what? Describe those folks to us for a second.
Yeah, I believe a a mixture for sure. So I think about my Little League coach, Fran Heath. I did not like this coach. The first couple of weeks, oh my gosh, I didn't think I could do it. But I was 9 years old, right?
Right.
So, but he was so tough.
Yes.
That he toughened me up. I needed that at 9 and then 10. And by the time I was 11 and 12, you know, I became an all-star.
Yes.
Because of him, you know, so when you're that young and you're able to have some influence from someone like Fran Heath in your life, that changes your trajectory. I believe that. That's why as adults now, it's our duty, again, to make sure that we're there for our youngsters, not only our kids and our family, but neighbors, you know, kids of our friends. If we coach, whatever we're involved with, the church, people, they look up to us. So it's our duty to make sure that we are that tough person if we need to. If they say something out of line, if whatever it may be, that we're there to help them and help guide them. So yes, to answer your question, guys like Fran Heath, Glenn MacGyver was tough on me. My counselor, Judd Blanchard, he was real tough on me because I wasn't great academically. He pushed me and pushed me, and I needed that. And then, of course, through my business career, there's been many people who challenge me and for the better.
I think the great coaches, they lean on and they push those that they see the biggest potential in, right? It's like if I see somebody that I'm like, I look into them and I see this massive ball of energy and this potential that you know, right in front of me in this vessel, and I'm like, oh man, you could just be so great, and they don't see it in themselves. I'm like, man, I've got to wake this person up. And I don't care how I got to do it. Maybe I got to like, wake up, man. You need to move forward. Let's go. And like, those are the times where the coaches will really push on you, is because they see something that you don't see.
Yep. And you don't like it at the time, but when you reflect on it,
you look back and you go, wow, they helped me become that thing that, you know, that ball of energy, that potential. So I love that.
Yeah.
Roger, you've been dropping mics all over the place, so I want to make sure we've got some giveaways for the audience as well. So what do we got here? I think what did we say we were gonna do?
Yeah, one of his books.
Oh, one of your books?
Yeah.
One of your best-selling books. First of all, we didn't even mention the name of your books. Can you tell us your 3 best-selling books?
Sure. So the first one is The Power of Loyalty.
All right.
The second one is The Power of Being Rich.
Ooh.
And that rich word, that's another one, like we talked about wealth. Yes, richness financially, but more fulfillment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the third one is Build the Best You.
Build the Best You. So which one are we giving away? That's what I want to know. Which one?
You know what? I'll give, if it's okay with you, I'll give away one of Build the Best You and one of The Power of Being Rich, because I think they're both relevant to our conversation.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So let's do this. What's a good question for the audience?
Let's see. Man, good question for the audience.
Oh, what's the name of his academy? What's the name of his academy? Tell me in the chat. What is the name of Roger's Academy? Tell me. And then we're going to give away some books. You like that? All right. No, Mark didn't like that.
I'm looking at the comments.
He's looking at the comments.
Yeah,
He's ignoring me. He's ignoring me. I'm having some fun over here.
And
again, disclaimer.
While you guys are answering, I do have a thought for you guys. When life gives you lemons, right? You make lemonade. But when life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
Bro, your dad jokes are whizzy.
Anyone?
Nope.
Anyone?
Come on. It's your delivery. Gosh, and I know when they're coming. So Mark has this thing.
Waka.
He has this thing, and he does dad jokes with Mark, and they're just so weak. I'm like, it's the delivery. I gotta take you to school, bro. You have to set it up better. It's not that funny. All right, so I do have an answer in here, and again, disclaimer, okay? The comments that we see are not always what you see. So I'm going to call out the first 2 people that I see, and I see Pauline Garrett. So Bestseller Academy, congratulations, Pauline Garrett. And I also see Leslie
Dwyer.
Dwyer?
Dwyer?
Leslie Dwyer! Congrats!
Pauline and Leslie, congratulations.
That's awesome. And I want y'all to do me a huge favor right now. I want you to take your phone out, take your camera out, take a screenshot, okay? Roger has just been awesome, dropping the mics, giving us knowledge. And I want you to just post that thing all over social media. Tag him in the post. Tell him how much you appreciate and you love him showing up here on the Who You Know show. Roger, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Roger.
We appreciate you.
Both. I
Guys,
really appreciate it.
That's the show.
It's all about
Who Ya Know. Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app coming soon. You never know how this show could help someone you know. And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about Who You Know. Bye!
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who